Fear has been holding you back, and this video is designed to make sure that all of the big dreams, all of the bold moves that you could have been making get made. We're going to get fear out of the way, and we're going to have you overcoming all of the voices. What would you do if fear wasn't holding you back? If you were not so afraid of failure, so afraid of disgrace, so afraid of being laughed at, what would you be doing right now? Some of us have started the personal brands, but we are playing it so safe that nothing creative comes out of the brand. Some of us are even yet to start because we have been telling ourselves so many stories of what everybody will say when those are not the voices you should be listening to. Fear is holding you back. And in this video, I'm going to share how I overcame fear, how I help my clients overcome fear, and how you can overcome fear so that you can actually start building the life that you want. Hi everyone, I'm Paula. I am a personal branding strategist and I'm your personal branding bestie. If you're new here, just hit the subscribe button first of all. Let's get acquainted. Get your favorite beverage. Let's dive into it. The funny part is, it's not like you don't know that you're made for greatness. You know that. It's not that you don't know that you have something to offer. You know that. It's not that you don't know that you're valuable. You know that. You know that there are things you know that can help people. You know that there are places that you have access to that other people don't. However, when it is time to actually put yourself out there in all of the various forms, actually start the YouTube channel, actually start the podcast, actually reach out to people for collaborations, actually do the creative thing or like execute the creative idea that has been in your mind for so long, you freeze. If that has happened to you, it's happened to me too. So it's perfectly normal because fear is normal. Fear is really designed to keep us safe. But because we're aware now that growth does not happen in the safe space, we have to be intentional about overcoming fear. We have to be intentional about getting uncomfortable. We have to be intentional about changing the game for ourselves. Now, when you think of putting yourself out there, right, there are all these crazy fears that come up, and some are rational, some are not. But we're scared of falling flat on our faces. We are scared that when we say we're going to do something and we don't do it, people will laugh at us. We are scared that other people are better than us. We are scared that the good thing, the valuable thing that we think we have, is in fact not so valuable. There are so many fears. When I was in secondary school, I was in the debate team. I thought I was going to be a big shot lawyer, Olivia Pope style. So, of course, I joined the debate team. One day, we went for an out of school debate session and we were on stage. I still have this memory because it is one of my cringiest, most embarrassing moments. So I get on stage and it was like an impromptu freestyle debate. We didn't get to prepare for it. We had just like a few minutes to prepare for it. Now there I am on stage and we were divided into two, like for and against, right? And I was giving for and the other side was giving against. I was so nervous for some reason that when I came to like give my points, I gave points against instead of for, which I was. And I can still see my debate teacher shaking her head, like, why on earth would this girl do me like this? And honestly, I didn't get back on stage for the longest time after that. Because imagine, I was like 14, 15. It was the most embarrassing thing that had ever happened to me. Fast forward to a few years later, I realized that digital marketing is the future and building a personal brand is the future of business. And really, if I was going to keep hiding, then all of my gifts and skills and ambitions would not materialize. So I had to put myself out there again after years and years of playing it safe. I know fear. I know the sweat and the cringe and the fear of cringe from putting out my first video on here, from putting out the first episode of the podcast, from putting out all of the content, the endless content that I've put out on the internet. But I also know that it can be overcome. I also know that you can sit down in front of the camera and confidently deliver your points. You can go on stage and confidently deliver your message. You can speak on stage and you can write the book and you can do the podcast and you can do everything if you just give yourself the chance. So fear might have been holding you back before now, but after today, after this video, you are going to be making some big moves. Maybe it will start off as small moves, but you're going to be moving, and that is all that matters. Because once you move, you build momentum, and momentum is what will give you confidence. If my voice is a bit stuffy, it is because I'm suffering from a terrible cold, the most terrible cold that I've suffered in a while. But first of all, let's talk about the cost of fear. Let's talk about what fear is costing you right this moment. It's costing you missed opportunities. It's costing you unfulfilled potential. It's costing you regret. Let's take that one by one. First of all, there are opportunities everywhere. People are looking for speakers, they're looking for experts to help them with work, they're looking for coaches and consultants and lawyers and doctors and accountants and bookkeepers and everything you can think of, everything you have to offer. People are looking for people who can help them with that. The world has problems. People have problems, and they're looking for people with experience in solving that problem. And that person is you. Except you have not put yourself out there. Except you're still shying away and you're still giving yourself reasons why you will most likely fall flat on your face. It is costing you because when these opportunities come, they don't find you. Think about it. Whenever you're looking for a solution, or whenever you're about to make a purchase, or whenever you're about to do something, you check online for it. You check online for vendors, you check online for service providers, you check online for information. You could be the point of information for your audience. You could be the point of solution for your audience. The digital products that you create could be exactly what somebody needs to get out of their own rut, to get out of their own safe space, but you're not getting out of yours, so they cannot get out of theirs with your solution. It's costing you missed opportunities. It's costing you untapped potential. Listen, when you're supposed to be doing something and you're not, every time you see somebody doing that thing, you feel something. You feel uneasy. You feel uncomfortable. You feel either you're thinking, maybe it comes in the form of, oh, I could do that, right? Or you just hurry up and pass it because you know that this is something that you could be doing. This is something that you should be doing. You just haven't brought yourself to doing it yet. The cost of that is that when you look back 10 years down the line, 15 years down the line, there's still going to be the potential there, but you're going to know, you're going to have that heaviness of knowledge that you could have started this, you could have done this 10, 15 years ago. You could have already been in a place 10 years down the line where you are known for this thing, you are known in your industry and your niche, but you didn't do it. And it's one thing for somebody else to be, the reason why you didn't do something. But when you know that you are the reason why you didn't do it, and the one person we cannot lie to is ourselves, is I mean, right? Which brings us to regret. Regret is ugly, it's painful, it is avoidable. If all you need to do now is whip out your camera, sit down and speak about a certain topic that you know by heart, when you weigh fear against regret, I will pick getting over fear any day, and I'm sure you will too. But regret is definitely down the line if you don't bet on yourself and if you don't try to put yourself out there. The biggest risk is not taking a risk at all. Fear will fade, but regret doesn't. Okay, so now how are we going to overcome this fear of yours? Because we've got work to do, you've got people to help, you've got an audience to build, you've got things to do, right? So the first thing is to reframe your mindset. Your mind is the powerhouse, is the workhouse, is where everything originates and where everything begins. This morning, I was listening to a podcast on mental fitness, working hard, hardly working, right? That's the podcast. And it was basically saying that your mind is a powerhouse, which we already know, right? So it starts with the mindset, it starts with the mind. Everything that we do begins from the mind. Now, fear asks, what if I fail, right? Your reframing of that would be, what if I succeed? What if this works out? What if it works out beyond my wildest imaginations? What if everything that I have dreamt of actually comes to pass? What if? When you reframe your mindset like that, it just allows you to see what is possible. And let me tell you, coming from a big dreamer, once you see what is possible, nothing will stand in the way of whatever you can do to make that a possibility. I spent my last weekend dreaming. I dreamt of what will happen when all of my dreams come true. When, if I continue like I'm doing now, I write the books and I continue with the podcast and I continue meeting people and I continue providing solutions like I already am. All I have to do is just continue, right? So I don't know where you are, whether you have started or you haven't, whether you need to continue, you need to build momentum, you need to get out of your safe space. Imagine it and dream it. Dream in color. Actually imagine yourself going through that. Actually imagine yourself in the life of the person that overcame the fear. And I tell you, it will do something to your mind. Now, the second tip I will give you is to start small. Sometimes we imagine the big dream and the big life, and it's scary because how can I even begin to go after that? How can I go from where I am to where I want to get? The truth is, it takes small steps, right? It is a series of small steps that gets you the big thing. And for you to go after a big life, you have to be courageous, right? You have to be full of courage. But courage is not something that we can buy in the market, it's something that builds little by little. It's like a muscle, you build it by taking the small steps. So ask yourself, what is one thing that I can do courageously today? What is the one thing that I am scared of that I can do? Maybe there are bigger things I'm scared of. I cannot do those ones yet, but what is the little thing I'm scared of that I can do today? For somebody, it might be putting out an article. For somebody, it might be putting out their first TikTok video. For somebody, it might be starting the YouTube channel. For somebody, it might be reaching out to somebody. For somebody, it might be even spending money on a product or a program that's going to help you get the information, the knowledge, the exposure to that thing you want to do. Whatever it is, courage is where it's at, and small steps will allow you to build the confidence in yourself to take the big steps. Now, my third tip will be to find some sort of support. Find a mentor, find a coach, find a circle of people that are already going after the thing that you want to go after or would like to go after it with you. A lot of times, I hold group programs because I see what group programs did for me in my life. When I was starting out, I would join group programs, and then the people that we were in the programs with would become my peers, and then we would go on to support each other and just root for each other. Now, if you're not able to afford a group program right now, that is fine. Just find one or two people that you can support, which will make them support you in turn, and just hold yourselves accountable. If you want, you can start a circle, invite a few people, and say, oh, I'm just starting out. I see you're just starting out. Can we hold ourselves accountable? If you don't want to do that, you can get a coach, right? I have packages for 1 month, 3 months, 6 months, a year. You can work with me to hold you accountable, to give you the strategies and give you the roadmap to make this brand happen for you. So, whatever it is that you need right now, hold yourself accountable, do it. Every day, I support and work with women like you that are ready to do more and be more and go after more. So I do know that it is absolutely possible. I know that sometimes we cannot do it alone. And I remember all of the times that other people have helped me and held my hand and shown me the way. So if investing in yourself right now is what you need to do, do it. You are worthy and you are the best investment that you can make in yourself, anyways. And now I want you to really, really imagine what is on the other side of that fear. Like when you actually overcome the fear, what does life look like? When you actually overcome the fear of rejection, the fear of people laughing at you, the fear of failing, the fear of not being consistent, the fear of whatever the fears are, imagine yourself having overcome it. Imagine yourself putting out content consistently. Imagine yourself launching the podcast. Imagine writing the book. Imagine speaking on stages. Imagine being hired for trainings. Imagine coaching people. Imagine being the consultant. Imagine being the point of call whenever anybody has a problem that you can solve. I know that you can do it. And I know that you can do it because I have done it. And I have been the person who was inconsistent. I have been the person who could not keep her word to save her life. I've been the person that could never set appointments because I was not sure I could keep them. I've been that person. I've been so afraid of trying anything, of people seeing a hair out of place. I've been so afraid of speaking in case I was wrong. And so I do know that you can actually be intentional about your progress, about your growth, about your brand. You can go from being just at your desk to impacting millions around the world if you choose that this is the life that you want, that you deserve, that you're going to work for. I know that this is a bit out of personal branding content, but I really know also that fear holds a lot of us back from showcasing our brilliance, and I don't want that for you anymore. Big announcement, big announcement. So I've dropped hints here and there about writing my book. Finally, there's a date for release. On the 17th of May, on my birthday, is the actual release, but pre order is going to open up, of course, way before then. I will keep you updated. For now, drum roll, the name of my book is That Internet Thing You're Doing. And it's the perfect name. I've had this name for years, even before I knew what the book was going to be, because fear is a large part of not putting yourself out there on the internet, right? And fear of also being dismissed or not taken seriously by the people that you love is one of the things that holds us back. I remember when I started and people would be dismissive of what I was doing because they probably didn't understand it, right? and they'll be like, oh, how's that internet thing you're doing? And I got that so many times that I just held on to that phrase, and a book has come out of it. Okay. So I don't know what it is you're scared of. I don't know what it is that's going to be thrown at you in your journey, but I do know that on the other side of it is probably a book like this. Anyways, I hope that you have gotten something from this video. I hope that you are as excited for this book as I am, because it's packed full of stories and my journey and strategies and tips that will help you flourish as a woman who is building a brand. And I cannot wait for you to read it. Thank you so much for watching this video. Don't let fear win. You've got this. You can do this. And at the end of the day, you get the life and brand of your dreams. If you have not subscribed up until this point, thank you very much for subscribing. Thank you very much for liking and dropping a comment. Thank you so much for being a part of the community. All of the links of everything that I discussed is in the description, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.